Chapter 11. Towards a future where she is mine. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What the hell are you doing and why is it taking so long? Shouted Kiera. It was clear from her outburst just now that she was at the end of her rope. Just a minute, Kiera, this wound is too deep to be left untreated, Sam replied calmly, not minding the earlier complaints of a silver-haired girl sitting in front of him. Yeah, well, it's taking too long. Why do I have a henchman without any support powers while all the big shot supervillains do? Kiera complained again, this time rolling her pearl-like purple eyes. Maybe because you don't have many options to choose from, lol, Sam replied jokingly, but it seems like he hit a nerve. Shut up. I'll have you know I can take on the whole superhero roster all alone. Kiera arrogantly flipped her silver hairs. Sure girl, sure, I agree with that statement, you can take on them all except him. The Star Boy. Sam commented as he finished up treating the wound on Kiera's right arm. He expected another outburst from the silver-haired girl after mentioning the person responsible for her injury, but in return, he met with silence. Seeing this, he looked up to face the girl, but instead of anger, he found her blushing. Why the fuck are you blushing? I have been treating your wound since childhood. Totally losing his earlier calm demeanor, Sam couldn't help but shout after seeing his childhood crush blush like that. It's not that, you idiot. Never mind, we're done here, let's go. Kiera ordered her henchman while getting up. Currently, the duo was in their secret compound, the base of all their operations. Although they call it that, the compound was a steel bunker in an abandoned city, but equipped with all kinds of high-end technology. The bunker has served them well all these past few years and will continue to do so in the future. The silver-haired girl went and stood in front of a mirror and removed the black mask, revealing the beautiful face that was hidden before. She was a great beauty in her late teens. Her bright purple eyes gave off a royal aura. She doesn't need anything else to convey that she's from a high background. Looking in the mirror as if admiring her beauty for a moment, she then tied her silver hair back into a ponytail and began to undress. Although Sam was still present in the room, the girl wasn't worried about anything. Perhaps it's because the boy has already seen her without clothes countless times to treat her wounds, or maybe she doesn't see him as a man, to begin with. Kiera. How many times do I have to tell you? No taking your clothes off when I'm present, the black-haired boy shouted with an embarrassed face. Geez, you're such a child, Sam, and besides you've already seen me without clothes, so what's the big deal? Kiera asked with an arched eyebrow while putting on a black tank top and blue jeans from the closet. And I've told you multiple times already, that and this is different things. Anyway, look here. Sam turned on the news on his monitor and played it on the big holographic screen. White Walker is dead. I repeat, White Walker is dead. The suspects, according to our informants, are Nightcrawler and Lady Medusa. The duo is also being held responsible for the destruction of Yokohama City that happened last month. Medusa has taken down White Walker. According to our reports, Starboy couldn't get to the scene of the crime until he was too late. I say purge those two. The duo has waged war against the whole Hero Association. Do they think they can take on the whole world alone? Starboy apologizes for not arriving at the crime scene until it was too late. Although he managed to injure Medusa, who is one of the suspects, he still couldn't save White Walker. Every media, every news outlet broadcasted the same thing over and over again. White Walker is dead. The reason? Medusa and her henchman Crawler. The news showed the footage of Los Angeles, the city of White Walker. People were on the streets, mourning the loss of their hero, their protector. We've done it, huh? We have finally taken down White Walker. The City of Angels is defenseless right now. Taking their relic will be as easy as taking candy from a baby. Sam commented as he paused the news, canceling all the noise that speakers were once creating. So when should we commence? Asked Sam while removing his black mask and revealing the chiseled face that was hidden underneath. The young man wasn't too skinny or too chubby, the ideal description would be, well built. His two black eyes resembled two deep abysses, his silky black wavy hair could easily claim the heart of any maiden, though the one he wants for himself is clueless about his feelings, that or she just doesn't want to hurt him. Yeah, about that. How about if we don't target El Dere for now? Kiera replied hesitantly. What? Why? Sam couldn't help but ask in disbelief. Why would she even say that, the absurdity? It took them countless tries to take down a Calamity-class superhero. If the association were to assign a new Calamity-class hero to El Dere, which they of course will, then the only chance of obtaining their goal would be gone. Is it because of him? The Star Boy. Are you scared of him? Sam regained his cool in the next moment and asked calmly. What? No. I just don't think we're ready to take him on, that's all. Kiera averted her gaze and replied strongly. She expected some kind of argument, but instead, the black-haired boy calmly spoke. Fine, as you wish, mistress. Without waiting for any further reply, Sam took a lift and exited the bunker. Kiera, however, didn't leave immediately. She took out her phone and unlocked it. A picture of the one they call Starboy reflected in her eyes. The girl couldn't help but blush at the sight of the boy that she has fought many times, but for some reason these past few months she couldn't help but pull her punches while going against him. This is wrong, Kiera murmured in a soft voice, reminding herself of what she was doing was awry. With a sigh, she shut the gallery and threw her phone on the nearest table before exiting the bunker herself. That dumb girl. I can't believe her. She's falling for that bastard. Him. The one guy who I couldn't kill. The one guy who was the reason for all our downfalls for all these years. Sam couldn't help but question the sanity of the girl he's in love with. I mean, are you sure she's developing feelings for him? A voice asked in Sam's head. Of course, I'm fucking sure. You should know that better than anyone. No one can escape my mind. Reading, not even Medusa herself. Sam responded in a furious tone. Well, then you just have to send this brat to the afterlife, like all the other ones who dared to get too close to your queen, the voice resounded in Sam's head again. This one is not that easy. He could very well be truly immortal just like Kiera and me. We don't even know his full powers yet. Even with all of my limiters removed, I doubt I can take him all by myself. Sam acknowledged earnestly, switching on the lights of his apartment. The boy they're talking about is Starboy himself. It's not a light topic. The man could survive the temperature of the sun's core for God's sake, and his father is the strongest superhero in the history of mankind. It is said that Starboy's father, Star Super, alone killed the king of Mars and freed the Martians from his cruel reign. Killing the son of a superhero of that caliber will bound to have some consequences. Samuel Gracefell, you have the power to surpass all the evolved ones in history. Why worry about such mundane things? Embrace your potential and reign above all mortals. Why become a king when you can be a god? And I've told you this before, you can have anyone you want. Why are you worrying about such a simple girl? I know. I too have told you, again and again, I want her and no one else. Sam denied without any hesitation, but you are right about embracing me. I think it's time to come out of the shadows and take the first steps towards a future where she is mine. Chapter 2-2. The Heart of a Demon. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Villains are not born, they are made. They have an origin story that society is not willing to listen to. Well, at least some of them do. Some of us, like me, we are born evil. Those who are born this way, who do they have to blame? Society. For not accepting them as the way they are. Parents. For giving birth to them. Or maybe the so-called God. For creating them this way. I don't know. All I know is that I was born with the heart of a demon and I have no regrets. Samuel Gracefell, during the events of the Black Moon incident. Where were you? A woman, seemingly in her late 30s, asked in an authoritative tone. Do you mean for the last 8 years? Sam replied sarcastically. The woman tried to step into the apartment but Sam blocked her way. "Where were you last night?" the woman asked again, this time clearly frustrated. "I came here last night but the door was locked and you weren't home." "Why do you care?" Sergeant Angie Wright will, or do you prefer me calling you mother instead?" Sam sneered. "Look boy, I don't care whether you hate me or not but this year it's the last chance for you to get into the prestigious Gifted Hero Academy. That means this is also the last chance to remove that stain from your family name." Angie spoke in a sincere manner. "I'll ask again, why do you care? You left me because your new husband didn't want to raise a child who had the blood of a villain. I survived alone for the whole 18 years of my life, do you think I need you now?" Sam couldn't help but burst out at the woman standing in front of him. After a few minutes of silence the woman replied, "You're right, I ran from my responsibilities. When they arrested your father and accused him of being a supervillain in disguise, I didn't know what to do. They would have fired me from the force if I hadn't changed my name, the jury was against me raising you so I had to give up, I couldn't leave my husband and child for you, I'm sorry. I know I don't have any right to come here and advise you on your life because of what I did, but when Ray agreed to marry me on the condition of leaving you, it's the only choice I had. I sent you money all these years, didn't I? If I hadn't changed my name back then both of us would have died out of hunger on the streets." A few tears rolled down Angie's cheek as some of her deeply buried memories surfaced back again. "You are right, you have no right to come here and advise me on how to live my life." Without waiting for any further reply from the black-haired woman, Sam closed the door on her face. Angie thought of knocking but hesitantly slinked her hand back and walked away from the apartment's door. What a way to start off the day! While rolling his eyes Sam went to the kitchen to make his morning coffee. Before he could do so however he heard a knock from the main door again. Sam grabbed a kitchen knife and was ready to stab her to death if it was Angie. However, upon opening the door he was met by an unexpected sight of a certain silver-haired girl standing outside. As the wind creased her silver hair, in her simple light blue tee and black skinny jeans, the girl was looking out of this world. "What a way to start off the day," Sam commented in awe underneath his breath. Nothing. Anyway, what's the occasion?" Sam asked as he invited Kiera inside and started preparing a coffee for her too. "What do you mean occasion? I just like your handmade coffee," Kiera replied with a smirk. "Well, this one is undeserving of such high praise, Your Highness." Sam playfully bowed and handed her a coffee mug. "Haha, spending a morning with you is the best way to start off my day." Kiera giggled lightly. "Yeah, I know I'm great, but coming here means traveling through a whole country every day, it will take a toll on you lol. Yeah, you should move near me, move to the US. "No thank you, I'm just fine in Alaska lol. Fine, Kiera said as she gave up on pursuing her best friend to move in near her. "By the way, I saw her on my way here." Kiera knew that Sam didn't like Angie being called his mother so she refrained from doing that. "Yeah, she asked me to join the Hero Academy again. Come to think of it, her son is also eligible for applying to the academy starting this year." Maybe I'll join the academy just to kill him," Sam commented nonchalantly while taking a sip from his coffee mug. Now, remember he's your half-brother too," Kiera commented with a wry smile. "Very insensitive, Kiera, very insensitive. Try to get a reaction out of me." "Fine, geez, I'm just kidding, do whatever you wanna, just send me the blood pictures lol. But jokes aside, maybe we should consider joining the academy." Kiera spoke in a serious tone. "Joining what?" "Gifted Hero Academy." Sam arched an eyebrow. "Yes, it was part of the reason I came here today." Sam took a deep breath and questioned the intelligence of all womankind for a moment before opening his mouth to speak again. "Kiera, you and I, we are what people call vigilantes because of the work we do, that is purging the society of corrupted heroes and helping the weak. Of course, we do it for our benefits, but let's not dive into that. Now if you remove the word corrupted from the afore sentence, we will become villains." No hero's wrongdoing will ever be made known to the general public. That means there is no such thing as corrupted heroes, they are all good. That also means there is no such thing as vigilantes, we are basically villains. Sam took another sip from his mug. I know, dummy, most of it is what I told you in your newbie days. Kiera had a dumbfounded expression on her face. Exactly, if you remember that and you know that we are not good guys, we are villains, then why would you suggest us joining the Hero Academy? Hero Academy, hero, the antonym of the word villain. Sam took a sip again as he emphasized on the word hero. Why? Yes, I get that, but I think we could get to know Starboy personally if we get in. The word is, he's joining the academy starting this year too. Oh. Of course the knowledge we gain from personally knowing him could be used against him in the future to defeat him. Kiera raised her index finger and glanced sideways. Sam didn't even need his mind reading to see through this bullshit lie. He was about to outright deny the suggestion until a familiar voice resounded in his head. She is right, you know. You can actually gain something to use against the Invincible if you decided to join the academy. The Invincible is one among the many titles held by Starboy. You're right, but this plan is a double-edged sword. Just the notion of this dumb girl falling for that bastard more than this is already giving me a headache, Sam replied in his mind. Then just be sure to kill him before it comes to that, the voice replied nonchalantly. Sam couldn't help but roll his eyes. If only it was that easy. Sam, what are you thinking? Kiera couldn't wait anymore and decided to wake the black-haired boy from his deep thoughts. Sam sighed and replied after a moment of wait, fine, I get your point, maybe we should join the academy after all. Yay! Kiera cheered loudly before realizing where she was sitting and regaining her composure in the next moment. I mean, yes, the right choice. I know I'll regret this later. Sam couldn't help but sigh helplessly, making the voice in his head chuckle. Chapter 3:3. Don't you dare order me. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. We're finally here. Kiera couldn't help but giggle as she held in her excitement. This is stupid and you're way too excited about this. Sam rolled his eyes. He was constantly questioning the taste of his 8-year-old self who decided to fell for this dumb girl. It's fine, Kiera waved her hand off in lax manner. Besides, now that we are here, let's enjoy ourselves a little, she added before dragging him with her like some doll to a stall nearby. Currently the villain duo in disguise was in front of an institution facility that even the most deadliest villains of this planet would not prefer to get close to. An academy for the gifted and youngs, they call it, the Gifted Hero Academy. It was the admission season and many gifted children came in this city that is named the Academy City, built on top of the ruins of Melbourne's City of Old Earth. Many of the examinees will return with nothing more than just tears and broken hearts. Some of them will be accepted to study here, but only few of them will be able to graduate from this prestigious academy. For that reason this city is also called as the City of Broken Dreams. Although that's for them to worry about later, right now the examinees are enjoying the stalls and market set up by the seniors of this academy, as a way to welcome them and boost their morale. Honestly, I'm surprised you get the examination form this soon. Sam commented with a genuine impressed expression. Why, of course, my father have a lot of connections to abuse. I mean lot of connections to use. Kiera replied in a proud tone. Aha, Sam hummed. He knew very well what kind of man her father was. The king of the underworld, Marcel Nicholson. He rose to his position by assassinating his mentor because he could never best him in a fair fight. Nonetheless, he's a force to be reckoned with. There's only one person whom he cannot beat, and that's the Pillar of Justice, Star Super. Because he stands at the very top of this world, only second to one person, it's needless to say that he have power and influence, so getting examination forms for a college is not a big deal for him, even if that college is meant for the young and inspiring heroes. I get that he got you the forms, but how did he agree for this absurdity? I mean, how did he agree to let you do this? Sam asked with a calm yet curious face. Yeah, about that, there was a condition, Kiera replied hesitantly. Of course there is something like that. Sam rolled his eyes before adding, "What is it?" "Ah, we have to take down Fennegish," Kiera replied in gibberish while averting her gaze. "Wah! Take down what?" Sam furrowed his brows in confusion. "We have to take down Phoenix. The deadline is 5 months." Kiera replied in a low voice. Sam couldn't help but take deep breath and sigh helplessly. He massaged his eyebrows and spoke, "Kia, listen, you know he's like us, right? Immortal, I mean." Sam had a helpless expression on his face right now. I know." Kiera replied while stuttering before looking Sam straight in the eyes and speaking in dead calm tone, "I know he's immortal, but I also know that no one is unkillable, not even the gods, let alone us mortals who have been graced with just the fraction of their powers. As long as the enemy have a beating heart, he have a weakness, all we have to do is find and exploit that weakness." Sam couldn't help but sigh in defeat. "Fine, I get it, I'll see what I can get on him and we'll devise a strategy accordingly." Sam nodded his head before replying. "Sue, can we now go back to our hotel?" He was really getting tired of all the shopping bags that kept on piling in his hands. "Wait, let me get that eyeliner." Kiera replied while dropping the sound barrier around them that she had put on earlier. "I knew it. She's Medusa, and by the looks of it that boy besides him is her henchman Crawler," a woman whispered to herself. Right now the woman was tailing a certain duo. She followed them till they got inside the hotel they were staying at. After confirming the location where her targets were staying at, she didn't waste a single second to take out her comm device. However, before she could even switch it on, the woman felt a tap on her right shoulder. "Was I spotted?" the woman questioned in her mind. "No way. With my ability, even Star Super will have a hard time spotting me." After assuring herself, the woman turned around only to find out how wrong was she with her earlier assessment. "Oh my, did I shock you, love?" Sam asked with a smile. "I thought because you were following us since this afternoon you might have something you wanted to ask us." "Huh," the woman was shocked beyond belief. "How can this happen?" She questioned the absurdity of the situation. Her ability was of SS Plus grade that mainly focuses on the stealth attribute. How can she be spotted by a villain's henchmen who have an A-grade ability at most? "Maybe it was Medusa who spotted me and sent her henchmen," the woman made a guess. Even though Medusa was just a child, she possessed a calamity-level ability, maybe it was her who spotted her. Although it was still unbelievable for the woman. Medusa possesses an physiology ability, it's impossible for her to see through her deception at such a young age, no less. However, it wasn't the time to think about such things, for it was the time to run. "Let's see how you find me now," she challenged Medusa in her mind and activated her ability. A blinding light enveloped her, attracting the attention of the crowd nearby. In the next moment she disappeared into thin air. What was that? Maybe a villain. Nonsense, it's Academy City. No villain is stupid enough to step through the gates of this sanctuary. Murmuring broke out among the crowd, although it died down as soon as it started. Most of them guessed that it would have been some kid testing their ability and left it at that. "Fascinating," Sam commented with an impressed look. "Ha ha ha," the woman was panting as she desperately gasped for air. Earlier she used her full power. Her ability, Concealment, is an ability that conceals her presence. Under normal circumstances these kinds of abilities fall under C grade, but what made her special was a phenomenon called upgrade. Select few are blessed with the power to make impossible possible. They call these people users, and named their power ability. An ability, however, can't be used to its full potential until a phenomenon called upgrade happens to them. No one knows how it happens to someone, but the people who have experienced this phenomenon can tap into the higher form of their ability at will. The woman who was sitting on the edge of her bed gasping for air right now is one of them people who have experienced upgrade. Normally she can only conceal her presence, but after tapping into higher form of her ability she can erase her presence from the plane of existence. It's as if she never existed. During the time she uses this higher form, no one will remember her, and needless to say that no one can spot her. Although highly useful, but coming back to the plane of existence is rather difficult, taking a toll on the user's body. I'm safe, the woman assured herself and drank water directly from the bottle, showering a little on her head too, to cool it down. "Excuse me, love," a voice resounded from behind her, immediately striking something akin to fear into her heart. "It was quite rude of you to run away while I was just trying to talk." "Impossible," she shouted in her mind. "I was followed." "Quite a nice place you got here," Sam commented as he took the bottle from her hand. "Do you mind? I got quite thirsty following you here." "I don't sound like a creep, do I? LOL, he joked before taking a gulp from the bottle. "So now then, let's finish our chat, shall we? Why were you following us?" Sam asked as he casually sat on the bed beside her. What do you want with me?" the woman asked with her gaze down, not daring to look up. "Wah. Me. No, silly girl, I don't want anything. It was you who was following us." Sam replied as he gently held her chin and made her face him. The woman however averted her gaze and replied, "I've already alerted the police, they'll be here any minute." "Oh my, so I did sound like a creep. Well then we have to make this quick." Sam replied and grabbed her neck from the same hand he was holding her chin earlier. "What is your name and who are you?" Sam asked in a calm tone as he stood up and lifted the woman by her neck only to slam her in the wall. "I will not tell you a damn thing," the woman retaliated, but to no avail. "Oh sorry love, but I wasn't talking to you," Sam replied nonchalantly and tightened his grip. The woman furrowed her brows. "If not her then who?" "Never mind, this isn't the time to think about such things," she thought. "Although it will take a toll on me, but at least I will live." She ironed her resolve and activated her ability to its fullest again. A blinding light enveloped her again, although this time it was subdued. "What?" the woman couldn't help but question what just happened. Before long it hit her. "White Walker," she voiced in disbelief. Sam couldn't help but smirk. "Your intelligence is remarkable, Tanya Fireforged, or shall I call you Anya like your father used to instead?" "Of course you will have to call me Daddy." The disbelief expression on Tanya's face was replaced by shock and fear. Mostly fear. No one knows of the name Fireforged, so then how? She wrecked her mind around all the possibilities but came to no conclusion. "Oh come on, don't be scared love, it was a joke. You don't actually have to call me Daddy, besides you're older than me." Sam frowned before adding, "Oh well, they are here, hate to make this quick, but bye-bye Tanya, see you in hell. Don't worry, by the way, I won't kill your children, that's my word." "Why?" Before she could even finish her sentence her neck was crushed. Sam dropped her lifeless body on the ground and heard a knock on the main door. "Open up or we will." A huge explosion occurred in the building floor where the apartment was situated. In the middle of flames and debris stood a young man with his black hairs wavering in the air. He walked towards the dead body of the police officer and spoke in an arrogant tone. "Or you will what? Die. Don't you dare order me on what to do," he shouted before sensing a few people approaching him. He clicked his tongue and kicked the dead body in front of him before disappearing into thin air. Chapter 44. Enrolling to the Hero Academy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Why does this look so old-fashioned anyway? Isn't this supposed to be a prestigious academy for training the young ones in utilizing their gifts? Kiera complained. This is the castle built during the War of Melbourne. They made the academy city around this very castle that was used as a stronghold to honor the fallen of that war. Sam replied nonchalantly as he walked beside the silver-haired girl. "Yeah, I know that, but it's been what? 300 years. They can at the very least modernize it. I mean look. The footpath is made of cobblestone." Kiera whined as it was difficult walking through the cobblestone path wearing high heels. "Geez Kiera, shush with your complaints already. I know you're supposed to be a princess, but I'm not gonna carry ya. Sam joked. You idiot, I'm not even asking you to, besides you're not Starboy lol. You're not even strong enough to hurt a fly. Kiera replied with rolling eyes. Need I remind you that I'm a grade ability user? How many people can manipulate their own and others' bio-electricity? Sam arched his eyebrows with a smug smile. Yeah, very cool. Although Sam, do you have a plan? Kiera asked in a genuine concerned tone. About what? Sam furrowed his brows. Our abilities, dummy. I have serpent physiology, so I could do all that a snake can do as my basic ability, but after my upgrade, I can tap into the powers of mythological serpents. Some of them can manipulate elements, so I can fake my powers as elemental manipulation, but what will you do? You're thinking too much into it. I'll show my ability as it is. Besides, not like I have many options lol, Sam replied in a lax manner. Why don't you just show one of them? You have two abilities, right? Bio-electricity manipulation and immortality. A bizarre combination if I do say so myself. Kiera advised. This poor girl. She has absolutely no idea about the power you possess lol. A voice spoke in Sam's head. Shut up, idiot. I was about to tell her after our victory over White Walker, that is until I found out that she's starting to fell for that bastard. There's no way I can trust her love-struck ass now. Sam replied in his mind with a frustrated tone. Ahaha, so you love her but don't trust her, huh? Kinda ironic for a person who can literally manipulate the physical form of all life, biology. Why don't you just program your brain to not love her anymore? Oh wait, are you a simp? Or a masochist? The voice teased Sam. However, before Sam could speak any further, Kiera spoke up. So what are you gonna do? She asked. You're right. I'll hide my immortality. Sam answered, nodding his head. Noise. Right now the duo was walking towards the Academy's testing ground. That's the place where they will evaluate abilities of all the examinees who wanted to join this academy. Next. Humanity will always remember the last day of year 2022. For that day, the future of humanity took a turn, for the worse or for the better, no one knows. December 31st, 2022, a child was born. Now this child in future will come to be known as Lightbringer. No one knows how it happened or why it happened. But after a few minutes of the child's delivery, he began to emit a bright white light. Soon after, that light embraced the whole planet, and that event will forever be known as the first light. Every child who was born after the first light possessed some kind of supernatural powers that's only been seen in fiction. Many things happened since then. Power struggle, militarizing superpowers, animals evolving into monsters to hunt down humanity, you name it. After all, humans became gods, so of course there will be consequences, because clearly they weren't ready to hold such power. Although after the dust settled, the glorious age of humanity came, led by a single person, Arthur Wilburn A.K. A Star Super. Star Super united the humans and brought the Golden Age 300 years ago. Although conflict for power still exists between two big factions. Heroes, the side where Star Super himself stands, and villains, a faction led by 12 powerful ability users. All that aside, the times right now are peaceful. As peaceful as it can get in a society run by superpowers. Right now it's 2,795, or rather 773 AFL, after first light, and according to the government survey data, 4 out of 10 people possess superpowers. There are several institutions established to teach children about how to control their ability. But there's only one institution that teach children on how to hone their ability. An institution owned by military. The Gifted Hero Academy. There are several branches of it around the world. Their goal is to create soldiers that can battle villains and dispose any threats to society. These academies also functions as a stronghold in case an all-out war were to break out between the two power faction. And currently the calamity-rank villain Medusa and her henchman Crawler were standing in the testing ground of one such prestigious academy. The line is way too long. Kiera complained. What do you expect? It's the first batch of examinees, of course there's gonna be a long line. Although not many of them will be able to pass the test. Sam commented casually. Before however Kiera could even reply, a boy standing behind Sam spoke up. Hey, you talk about yourself, man. I will definitely pass the test, the boy commented in a proud tone. Okay. Good to know. Sam didn't even know how to reply to that. May I sense the side character vibe from you? Kiera commented teasingly. What did you say? The boy was clearly furious after hearing that comment. Oh my, seems like you're deaf, my apologies. Kiera replied with a teasing smile. Why not you? The boy's cheeks were beet red from anger, you could even see a nerve twitching above his eyebrows. Kiera, stop. Sam helplessly shook his head. I'm sorry for my friend here, she has a tendency to go overboard with her jokes. Humph, the boy humped, flicking his neck long red hairs as if saying, I will show you. Next. Kiera Viktorovna. Viktorovna, isn't that one of the family that got massacred during the battle between White Walker and Medusa? Wah. How do you know that? I heard it from my father who was sent on a rescue mission there. He told me that 4 families died and no one is left to carry their names. One of the family was Viktorovna, but apparently someone did survive. Few students from back of the line started gossiping after hearing Kiera's false surname. Taking on the name of one of the family we massacred ourselves, how cruel, Medusa. Sam smirked proudly. Ability. Water manipulation. Begin display. As soon as the invigilator asked Kiera to begin, she stretched her hands forward and manifested a huge ball of water before aiming it at one of the targets set in a distance. So just a water ball, huh? The invigilator proceeded to cross of Kiera's name. As if waiting for that cue, the temperature around them started dropping. The invigilator looked up at Kiera only to find out the water ball she manifested earlier was now started to freeze. In a matter of seconds that ball froze and a huge boulder of ice was launched at the humanoid target with an incredible speed. Boom! With a loud noise the ice boulder crushed the target, making everyone present their gasp in shock. Do I need to display more? Kiera asked in an arrogant tone. More, she have more than one trick in her arsenal at such a young age. She is a prodigy, a potential S-class perhaps, the invigilator thought in her mind for a second before answering. No need, this will be more than enough, go and stand there. The invigilator gestured her to go and stand among the examinees who are done with the test. An A-rank potential, no you idiot, she said her ability is simply water control and not ice, that means she has a mastery over her ability on the molecular level. She froze water by suspending the water particles, at the very least she's a S-rank potential. Shut up with your chatting, boys at the back, the invigilator shouted and ordered the boys who were murmuring earlier to be quiet. Next. Upon hearing the call, Sam stepped forward and introduced himself, Samuel Gracefell. Ability, Bio.Electricity Manipulation. What did he say? Gracefell. Like in that villain, Gracefell aka Black Knight. Not only that, he said his ability is Bio.Electricity Manipulation, like Nightcrawler. Murmuring between the examinees broke out after Sam finished his introduction. Maybe I should have forged a false identity too. Sam sighed in his mind. After all, Crawler is a famous villain, and not only Sam is claiming to have a similar ability like his, he also belongs from a criminal family. Of course people are going to be suspicious. Wait, Nightcrawler, who's that? Yeah, I don't know him either. Ouch, Sam felt a slight pain in his chest after hearing those last 2 sentences. You fools, he's the henchman of that famous villain, Lady Medusa. Oh right, that weak guy. Your mom's weak, you dumbfuck. Let's see who is weak when I'll fuck your sister in front of you. Anger was clearly visible on Sam's face as he heard that last comment. LOL. First a member of a family that was massacred by Medusa and now a dude who have a similar ability like her henchman. Coincidence? I think not. Guys, shut up. Just because his father was a villain doesn't mean he is too. We are not our parents, we are who we wants to be. What makes us ourselves is not what background we belong to but what is in our heart. The red-haired boy from earlier spoke up, killing all the murmuring from a moment before. That's right guys, even if we possess an ability similar to some supervillain or a background that we aren't proud of, what matters the most is that we don't let it define ourselves and make a constant effort to move forward. Just the fact that this boy is standing right here is proof enough that he is not his father. A blonde girl spoke up from the back of line. Everyone who was whispering earlier felt guilty for accusing an innocent boy of being a supervillain. Besides, what's his age anyway? 18 at most. There's no way he could be a supervillain. Very good, you two, and you all should be ashamed. You are standing here in Gifted Hero Academy, aspiring to become one of the heroes who have come before you. You all should know better than to bully someone just because of their background. The Invigilator spoke in a serious tone. Poor kids, they are getting scolded even though they are right, the voice inside Sam's head commented. That's not the point. It's so easy for me to just crush everyone's neck here. All I have to do is expand my bio.field enough to cover the whole academy and snap my fingers. Honestly, just the thought of killing all these ungrateful brats gives me joy. Should I give it a try? Egan. Now, calm down and remember your mission. You're here to find out Starboy's weakness, not to kill a bunch of weaklings. Haha, right, Sam chuckled in his head before a voice snapped him back to reality. I said begin. The Invigilator snapped her fingers in front of Sam to get his attention. Ha. Oh, sorry. I got distracted in my past for a moment. Sam said, putting on his most innocent face, adding to the guilt that his fellow examinees were feeling already. It's okay, child, you can now begin your display. The Invigilator spoke in a gentle tone that wasn't there earlier. And so it began. A story of two villains enrolling in an academy meant for heroes, a story about love, hate, friendship and of course the biggest betrayal imaginable. Chapter 5. First hunt in Academy City. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A shrill sound occurred as Sam pierced the heart area of the human-shaped target with a swift yet deadly precision. His hand clad in electricity, it was like a sharp blade. He's fast and he's talented. Potential for a rank because of the nature of his ability, but for now let's just put him on B rank potential. Good, you may stand over there. The Invigilator gestured him to join the students who were done with their assessment. Next, Drake Dragonheart, the red-haired boy from earlier, introduced himself. Ability. Pyrokinesis. For some reason the boy proudly flicked his neck-long red hair after answering. Begin display. As soon as the Invigilator gave permission to display his ability, the boy took out his hands from his side pockets and raised them upward. Behold now, Elder Fire, he spoke in an arrogant tone before huge vibrant red flames materialized above his hands. The temperature around him started to rise more as the flames transformed into a one big dragon. The dragon then roared haughtily as if it had a mind of its own. Shall I continue? If I do though, then targets wouldn't be the only thing burning after I'm done. Drake asked with a smirk. No need, call off your ability. The Invigilator knew what the boy was saying is truth. Honestly, she knew that even before the boy introduced himself. The hair as red as that can only belong to a Dragonheart, and there's a saying about those people. If you encounter a Dragonheart in a battle, you run and you do not look back. With pleasure. Drake gracefully performed a short bow and extinguished the flame dragon before joining the examinees who were done with the test. Next. Told ya I would pass it with ease. Drake said with a smug smile as he went and stood beside Sam, who was standing beside Kiera. Show off. Kiera sneered. I on the other hand think it was very impressive, Drake. Oh, and by the way, thanks for speaking up for me. Sam stretched his hand. Let's start over. I'm Samuel Gracefell and this is my childhood friend Kiera Viktorovna. No worries buddy, and I am Drake Dragonheart, son of the Archduke Adele Dragonheart. And the blonde girl right over there is my girlfriend, Robin Green. Drake shook Sam's hand and pointed at his girlfriend. She was the blonde girl who also spoke up for Sam. Oh you Dragonheart and Green, so you both are nobility. Sam whistled. Haha, I guess we are, lol. Okay, but I have to say your girlfriend is more interesting than you, Drake. Kiera commented, and she watched Robin displaying her ability. The blonde girl was floating in the air. She raised her hand and all the human-shaped targets that were set around the testing field began to float too. I can crush them all, but I think that would be unnecessary, so I'll just crush a few. Robin spoke in a prideful tone before crushing half of the targets she was making float earlier. Okay, that will be all, go and stand there, the Invigilator said as a drop of sweat rolled down her forehead. Never mind, she's a show-off too. Kiera rolled her eyes. Nice work there, Robin. I forgive you for coming late. Drake said with a smirk as he kissed his girlfriend's lips. Thank you darling. Oh, you already made friends. With a potential S rank at that too. Robin commented after looking at Kiera. Hello, I'm Kiera Viktorovna, and if anything, I think you're a potential SS rank. Haha, you're overestimating me, but thank you for the praise. Aha, I guess I'm the weakest one here then. Sam commented after listening to the conversation. What? No. I've seen many people manipulating electricity before, but no one manipulating bio-electricity. How does it work anyway? Drake asked in an excitingly curious tone. Yeah, same here, I wanna know too. Robin said with the same energy. Okay. I can create, shape, and manipulate bio-electric currents that exist within all aspects of the body, such as in the nervous system, heart, and muscles through the use of my biofield. Sam replied before adding, I'm also capable of channeling this bio-electrical energy into attacks or even drain the bio-electrical energies that may dwell within another being. Honestly, my power is pretty much the slightly weaker version electrokinesis. What makes me different is that I can also sense other people's bio-electric current even if they have any concealment ability. Whoa, that's so cool. Drake said in an impressed voice. Wait, you said manipulate, does that mean you can manipulate others' bio-electricity too, like say, control them? Robin asked with a curious look. Ahaha, sadly no, I have not that type of mastery over my ability right now. Currently I can just manipulate my own electric currents. Sam lied so fluently that for a second even Kiera, who knows the truth, believed him. Damn, he's a good liar. Kiera thought in her mind. Ah, sad, if you were capable of doing that, I would have asked you to mind control Robin here and order her to never be late for our dates again. Drake clicked his tongue. Hey. Robin pinched Drake's cheek as he laughed in pain. Haha, see, I told you it would be great. Kiera commented. Sam, however, had stopped paying attention to the duo. He was feeling as if someone was watching him, watching them. Oh, come on. Again, he snapped in his mind with frustration. It's okay, they are not watching only you. They are watching everyone, it's no problem. What do you mean no problem? I hate being watched or touched without permission, you should know that better than anyone. After all, you are me. Look, I know what you're saying, but you have to endure it a little, you can't kill them right now. Yes, you're right, I can't kill them right now. So I'll kill them later, remind me to kill this stalker tonight. I had to kill that woman, Tanya, in such a hurry that I didn't get to have my fun, let's fill that quota tonight. Oh Daeum, you're a sick bastard, I love it of course. Sam, are you listening? Kiera shook Sam. Huh. Sorry, what? I was thinking of something. Geez, Drake and Robin plan to explore the city, they invited us to join them tonight, so you ready, right? Sure, I see no reason to refuse. Great, it'll be so much fun. Right, darling? Hell yeah, let's go. No reason to refuse. How about killing a stalker and having some fun? Real fun. Oh, stop with your whining, I can always duplicate myself, and besides, if something unforeseen were happen, then I will have several alibis. Fine but us, the real us I mean, will go for the hunt. Well duh. Let's make our first hunt in the Academy City a big one. Finally. I'm done with the assessment test, and oh boy was it tiring. So many children with so wild abilities. Yeah, I get it, I had to be the invigilator last year and it sucked. One of the telekinetic boy even attacked me. Right now the woman who acted as the invigilator for the assignment test earlier today, was sitting in the staff room and eating her dinner while chatting with her bestie. She wasn't done with the assessment test until late this evening. Yeah, I have heard that one before, huh? By the way, Jana, who do you think was the strongest out of them all? The woman asked, although she was the one assessing their abilities earlier, but the woman knew that Jana could see what the normal eyes couldn't. I don't know, Rose, there were so many strong examinees this year, but I think only one surpassed them all. Who? That noble girl, Robin Green. Or that commoner, Lucas, his name was, I think. Yes, him, Lucas Redwing. Robin's telekinetic powers are excellent, but Lucas' vector manipulation is beyond exceptional. He can manipulate physical laws like sipping tea. He's a potential calamity level user, or maybe even above. Above. You're overestimating him too much. I know he's strong and all, but above calamity level is God level, and only one person holds that rank. Yeah, maybe you're right. Jana fessed up in embarrassment. You're right, maybe I was overestimating him, partly because his ability is similar to mine, so I thought maybe he could achieve what I couldn't. Ah, it's okay, bestie, you're the strongest person I know, and I don't mean it only in strength. Rose hugged her best friend with one hand while still continuing to eat with other. Haha. Oh wait, by the way, now that we are discussing this topic, although he's not that strong, but I found something strange about one particular examinee. Jana spoke, pushing her bestie back as she remembered something. Who is that? Rose asked in a curious tone. That boy, Samuel Gracefell. I think he was aware of my gaze. Jana replied. What? No way. Your clairvoyant eyes that can see everything, a mere 18-year-old boy who was just a student till yesterday felt your gaze. Impossible. Rose denied her best friend's claim. After all, what she was talking about is almost impossible. Only people with extrasensory perception abilities could tell if another one of their kind is looking at them, that too after years of practice. So for a kid, who don't even have an ability like that, to notice the gaze of one of the best clairvoyant alive is almost impossible. I'm not lying, Rose. I think that he noticed my gaze. Also, when he used his powers, I think he held back. Big deal, Jana, mostly everyone did that. We can't get too deep into everyone's power with just few minutes. That's one of the many reasons this academy is created, to study abilities. Rose, listen, are you telling me that you have not once suspected him? Even when he went straight for the target's heart. Even if it was just a target, he did so without any hesitation, almost like he has killed someone before like that. Suspected him of what? He's a child that just happened to be from a not-so-clean family. And about going for the heart, there were kids who completely crushed the targets, but you don't suspect them. Why? Because they belong from a good family. It was just a target, for God's sake. Rose slammed the table with her hands before getting up and leaving the room. Jana frowned her eyebrows as she couldn't understand what got her so worked up. After a moment of thinking, it hit her. Fuck, she totally forgot that Rose's father was also a criminal. Damn it, Jana. Her eyes went on Rose's lunchbox. She didn't even finish her dinner. Jana sighed as she massaged her eyebrows. Knock, Rose, open up, I brought you dinner. Jana knocked Rose's apartment door, waiting for her to answer. After a moment of silence, she knocked again. Knock, Rose, I was a bitch earlier, I'm sorry. Open up, I brought your favorites. What followed after was another few minutes of silence. As Jana was about to knock the door once more, it opened up. However, the one who answered the door wasn't her best friend but a black-haired boy who had a disturbed smile on his face. Hello my dear prey. Chapter 66. Breathe your last. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I mean, there are 8 billion or so people in this world. Why the hell did she have to fall for that guy? Sam complained before taking a huge gulp from the bourbon bottle in his hand. Was I not good enough for her? I mean, honestly, the bad guy versus the good boy, the choice is crystal clear. Yet she decided to fall for his cape-wearing ass. I mean, I was there for her at her lowest. I was there when she was excommunicated by her father. Hell, I was the one who fixed that mess. I was there when she needed someone to lean on after she failed her missions after missions, because of the guy she's in love with right now, by the way. I was there to get her drunk ass back home at nights. I was there when there was no one on her birthdays. I was there when her first boyfriend dumped her sorry ass. Sam massaged his eyebrows before taking a big gulp from the bottle of whiskey again. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get all sentimental on you, but I hate the fact that she's jeopardizing our plan of years because she is crushing a guy who would never love her back. You know who would love her back? Me. I would. But no, it's always some other guy. I'm so exhausted. I even went with her bullshit idea to join the Hero Academy, so if you have to, blame all of this on her. Oh, by the way, do you know, her father is a big shot in the underworld. But not everyone under him have the strength to protect themselves. So according to his father, we kill the heroes to protect the weak. We fight heroes to protect our people, basically his kingdom. I know, right? Bullshit. I mean, if you want to get rid of the heroes because they are getting in your way for world domination or whatever his goal is, just say so. Don't glorify your murder. Well, in that aspect I'm way better than him. I never do that. Glorify my murder, I mean. I kill because I love to. Or of course because someone has pushed me to the end of my rope, like your friend. I gave her signs that I was aware of her watching me, but her dumbass just kept on staring at me, and now look at you, it's all her fault. Anyway, so, Kiera never wanted to be a villain. Long story short, she had to become one because she wanted her daddy to love her. I helped her become what she is today. From the shadows, yes, but still. And that girl. She had the audacity to fall for some guy who is not me. I admit I may be bad, I hear voices in my head for God's sake, but I'm the only one who's good enough for her. Sam slammed the bottle down on the wooden floor, breaking it into pieces and spilling all the bourbon inside. Sam sighed before putting both his palms on his face. Sorry, I know, this is our first time meeting and I'm opening up a little too much, but I don't have many friends because of the nature of my profession, you know. I'll stop, okay, I'll stop. Let's hear about your day. How was your day? Sam waited a few minutes for a reply before speaking. Oh right, I'm sorry, I forgot you were dead, lol. Rose's body was lying on the carpet in front of Sam. There was no blood anywhere, no signs of struggle. But for some reason the girl wasn't moving, or breathing. There was no heartbeat either. The girl was just dead. Gee, I should close your eyes cause it's starting to get a lil creepy now, lol. Sam got up, but before he could even take a step, he heard a knock on the door. Ah, look Rose, your friend is here. Sam turned and proceeded to walk towards the door. Rosie, I'm sorry I was a bitch earlier, open up, I brought your favorites. The voice came from the other side of the door. Sam was about to open the door before stopping as if he remembered something important. He then quickly closed his eyes. His face structure started to change. His eyes that were pitch black earlier started to change to scarlet red. He grew a few inches taller too. This should be good enough. I won't change my hair cause it's the best thing about my appearance. Click, with a click sound he opened the door and greeted the beautiful woman standing outside. Hello my dear prey, he tilted his head and spoke with a disturbed smile on his face. And may I compliment you on how lovely that dress look on you. And of course I like your black hair. Honestly, there are not many people left with black hairs. It's just rainbow out there nowadays. I heard on old Earth, the black hair was the most calm. Who the fuck are you? Jana grabbed Sam's collar by one hand, still holding the dinner she brought with another. I'm sorry, I haven't introduced myself, did I? I'm the one who killed your friend back there. Sam spoke, again with the same disturbed smile, pointing his thumb back towards the main hall, where Rose's body was. Rose! Jana shouted, dropping the dinner from her hand and punching Sam in his abdomen. Sam didn't dodge or stop her because the speed with she threw that punch was not enough to even hurt a fly. How strong of a punch can a clairvoyant even throw? Sam scoffed in his mind. However, when the punch hit his stomach, he felt absolutely nothing. Not even the little pain he had expected, nothing. Jana quickly ran inside, and started checking her best friend's pulse. Seeing this, Sam smirked. He turned around and started walking towards her direction. Huh? Are you ignoring me? Honestly, every woman I meet nowadays is IG, huh? Feeling the bare hard wooden floor against his face, he realized he had fallen. He tried to speak, but instead of voice, blood gushed out of his mouth. After violently vomiting a mouthful of blood, he started losing all sensation in his body. However, for some reason he was feeling warm around his abdomen. He reached out with his hand to touch the source of heat that was engulfing his body, but instead of finding something there, he found nothing, literally nothing. There was a hole in his stomach, the same place where Jana hit him earlier. Huh? What is happening? She didn't even punch me that hard. Damn it, I was careless, he cursed himself in his mind as the darkness around him started creeping in. Within a few seconds his heart stopped and his pupils dilated. Sam had died. Rose. Rose, please don't do this to me. You promised you won't ever leave me. Please. Think about your fiancé. How will I tell him this? Please, Rose, please. Jana held her best friend's lifeless body in her loving embrace and cried until her voice started to break. After a few minutes of crying, she wiped her tears with her T-shirt sleeves and tried to regain her composure. It's not the time to cry, she thought. First I should check on that guy's body to find out a clue about who he was and then report this to HQ. Maybe he was the same guy who killed Tanya. Oh, are you done, love? What? Jana couldn't believe her ears. It's the same voice. But that's not possible. She thought. Her mind already went to the worst-case scenario, but she still turned her head around slowly, all the while praying desperately to be wrong, but she was right, the voice belonged to the black-haired guy. The same guy who she has killed not just a few minutes ago. I was just trying to talk and you killed me. I didn't attend any etiquette classes in my life, but I think it's pretty rude to kill someone without even bothering to know their name first. Honestly. Sam rolled his eyes. An immortal, Jana voiced her disbelief. She bit her lips in the next moment and ironed her resolve. Just because he have immortality as his ability doesn't mean he's strong, she thought in her mind and activated her ability. In the next moment Jana, who was kneeling beside her best friend's dead body earlier, appeared right in front of Sam and threw a jab, this time with an incredible speed. However, that still wasn't fast enough to hit Sam. He effortlessly dodged the punch coming at him by swirling to the left. However, just when he thought he had dodged her, Jana disappeared and appeared right behind him in a flash. Clairvoyance, super strength and super speed. Sam widened his eyes in shock. Jana saw that Sam was distracted and didn't waste that opportunity. She threw a lightning-fast roundhouse kick, threatening to completely split Sam's abdomen in half this time. You're strong, I can't have any more chances with you. Sam didn't dodge and stood his ground. Jana stopped her roundhouse kick midway and distanced herself from him in an instant. Her face was a mixture of shock and terror. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. Your eyes, just how much can you see with them? Sam tilted his head and asked with a smirk. You knew you would die if you were to continue with that kick, the question is how. Can you see the future? Yo, you are a monster. Jana screamed and tried to run for the door. For some reason she couldn't activate her ability, but that didn't stop her from running fast. Just before she could step outside, however, every fiber of muscles in her legs were crushed. Ag, she tried to scream in pain, but the voice stopped coming out midway. She couldn't move her vocal cords, it was a weird and painful feeling. Now, with her heart stricken in panic, she tried to crawl out the apartment door by using her hands, but before she could even attempt that, the door was closed off and all she could see now was a pair of legs. With fearful eyes she followed the legs up only to find the same black-haired guy grinning as if he was having the time of his life. Don't you want to take revenge on me? You know, for killing your BFF and all. Besides, I want to know how the hell can you possess 3 ability. There are only 9 people in this world who possess more than 2 abilities and they are famous as hell. While you, no offense, but I didn't even knew your name until I looked you up in Rose's memories. Jana widened her eyes in disbelief. She had her doubts, but the guy in front of her just proved all of her suspicions correct. Yes, what you're thinking is right. I possess ability to tamper, alter, and manipulate the physical form of all life. I have biokinesis. I know I'm a god and all, but flattery will get you nowhere. Now show me your memories. Sam kneeled down and placed his palm on Jana's forehead. Jana tried to scream but no sound came out. She tried to struggle but for some reason she couldn't even feel her hands. She was completely at the mercy of the guy in front of him, for right now, he really was her god. Sam's palm emitted a violet hue for a second. He frowned and retreated his hand. So you had just 2 abilities. Clairvoyance and inertia manipulation, huh? Pretty neat if you ask me. Unfortunately you can only manipulate it, thus you need to move first in order to create inertia. Sam spoke while scratching his chin. Anyway, it's playtime, so look alive before I make you breathe your last. Jana's fearful eyes reflected the face of a black-haired guy, his smile so wide that it was practically a grin. A creepy grin, scary enough to reap a soul out of person's body just with a look. Chapter 7-7. A fun night. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Well, that was fun. Indeed. We should do this more often. Sam spoke in a happy tone, comparable to that of a child who just had a good time after playing with his friends in the park. Although I don't like disposing the bodies I personally took time to torture. It's like I'm throwing away one of my masterpieces. It's the only thing I don't like about fun nights. Yeah, lol, I didn't think a pool of blood and balls of flesh is what you can call a masterpiece. Shut up you. Anyway, I think I should resurrect one of them. If both the persons who supervised the assessment test dies on the same day, then it would be obvious that someone from the test was involved. Yeah, they suppressed the news about murder of Tanya for some reason too. Not just for some reason, I think they don't want to jeopardize the reputation of Academy City cause they don't have a clue on who the killer is, lol, and she was a SS rank hero too. Yeah, lol, maybe. So anyway, who will you revive? Well, of course the one who hadn't killed me. It's a shame I have to let the one with black hair die though. Sam spoke in a regretful tone. He then walked towards the dead body of the blue-haired woman and dramatically raised his right hand up high. I, Samuel Gracefell, gives you back your life. Aren't I generous? He spoke narcissistically, as a bright violet light enveloped Rose's dead body. The bright violet light surrounding her dead body hardened like a cocoon. After a second or two, the cocoon shattered like a glass and dissipated into the thin air, revealing the body it was enveloping earlier. Gasp. A loud gasp escaped Rose's mouth as she tried to breathe in the air to her lungs. What's happening? Confused, she spoke up while trying to get back up on her feet and looking around the familiar apartment that she's been living in since the day she came to this city. Her eyes quickly landed on a black-haired guy, who was looking at her like an artist looking at his masterpiece. Yo, you, get away. Rose screamed in fear as she remembered his face. It's the same face that she saw after falling to the ground and losing her consciousness into the darkness. It was scary to say the least. Calm your titties down, love. I know you're scared, trust me, I know the feeling of getting back from the dead more than anyone. Even the people with immortality have never experienced the true death. Rose, however, didn't care what the guy in front of him had to say. All she knew was that, she has to protect herself, she doesn't want to go into that darkness ever again. Thinking this, she activated her ability, or at least she tried to but couldn't. What? What is happening? I couldn't feel my ability in me anymore, spoke Rose with a pale face. Everyone at some point in their life experiences a phase where they couldn't use their ability for a short period of time. It was named as user's block. But what Rose was feeling right now was different. She couldn't feel her ability at all. What did you do to me? What did you do to me? Rose yelled in confusion, but not daring to take one step towards the black-haired boy though. I said, calm down. Sam spoke in a calm yet frustratingly slow tone. His eyes emitted the same violet hue from earlier as he spoke again, kneel. Surprisingly enough, Rose complied without resistance. Even she didn't know why she was listening to her, but she did. Just the mere presence of the boy in front of her gave her warmth, the kind you could only feel from your mother. No, this was even better. Good. Now listen, Rose, I killed you. Sam spoke calmly as he took a few steps towards her. But then, out of the generosity in my heart, I gave you second chance at life by reviving you. Sam stood right in front of Rose, who was kneeling in front of him, and stroked her head like a pet before speaking. Now I possess the power of biokinesis. Which mean I can control all biology. Actually, that was misleading. I can control all the biology that I know of. So of course I can control humans and lesser species like all plant and animals. That also means that I can take what they have and make it mine. Sam smirked arrogantly. Rose's eyes widened after hearing that statement. It's impossible. That means he can steal abilities, she thought. Gods don't steal. They take. Sam yelled furiously before regaining his composure in a split second. Thieves steal. Do you think of me as a thief? No, I don't, I'm sorry. Rose replied with her head down while desperately trying to not tremble with fear. Anyway, no, I cannot take abilities per se. I can recreate them and enhance them if needed too, if I'm capable of doing that, which I mostly am. Some abilities, however, are best to be left as it is. Rose frowned, her eyes in confusion. You see, Rose, according to textbooks, abilities are supernatural powers that have been granted to us by the gods for whatever reasons. Some believes that the god is dead and left his powers with us, some believes he has deemed us worthy and graced us with the fraction of his powers. To be totally honest, I don't think any of that is true, but then again it's not the point. The point is, abilities are codes. Codes hidden somewhere inside one's DNA, and only I, who has the ability to tamper, alter or manipulate biology, can see or read them. That also means only I can recreate them. But the thing is, those codes disappear as soon as you die, so not only I have to be quick to find that code whenever I kill someone, I also have to memorize the whole thing to recreate it later. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, because you've died once and come back, your code is gone, your ability is gone. Wah, what, boo, but I'm nothing without my powers. I'm not, calm down. Sam spoke, again in the same deadly cold tone. I said I can recreate them. What I meant by that is, not only I can take that ability and have it to myself, but also, you can also give it to others. Rose completed Sam's sentence. Her eyes widened in shock and disbelief. It's as if she was looking at a god. Star Super is the strongest, fastest and the most durable man alive. However, what gives him the god rank is two of his many abilities, power bestowal and power generation. This boy right here claims to have a version of both of them. Weaker version albeit but still. Please, I beg you, return me my ability. Rose bowed down, her head touching the ground. She was submitting to the boy who had possibly. No, to the boy who had definitely killed her. But for some reason she wasn't feeling embarrassed or ashamed, it was as if she was made to be submitting to this guy. It was as if all her existence has become something trivial just by his presence. Raise your head, Rose. You don't have to be so dramatic about it, I'll return you your powers, besides it's not as if you can turn against me now anyway. Rose raised her head up, however what she saw was not something she was expecting. Yo, this is my real form. Nice to formally meet you, Rose Bluespring. I am Samuel Gracefell, said Sam as he reverted back to his original form. You. Rose didn't even know what to speak. She wanted to tell her best friend Jana, that she was right about Sam being someone dangerous, but right now and forever, all she wanted to do was to admire the face she was looking at right now. That chiseled face with sharp manly features, those deep black eyes and wavy black hair. It's as if he was a holy existence far out of her reach. What is happening to me? She screamed in her mind as her face turned blushing red. What is happening to you is, I tampered a little with your brain and now you can't ever think of harming me, for obvious reasons. Hell, you'll only be able to think about me, said Sam with a narcissist smirk before gently holding Rose's face by her chin. Time to give you your powers back, he said while gently touching her forehead with his other hand as it emitted a familiar violet hue. Good luck living out the rest of your life as my slave, I expect you to work hard. Yes. Okay, there was definitely some sexual tension between you two. You know the best way to control a human. Fear. No dummy, love. Sam rolled his eyes. You can't win against love no matter how hard you try. Many have tried and they all failed. Right now Sam was walking towards his hotel with his concealment ability activated, the same one he stole. The same one he took from Tanya. The academy has yet to announce the result for assessment test and there will be counseling too, so all the examinees were staying at hotels or at relatives. Sam was using concealment because of two reasons. First, he doesn't want anyone to associate him with the disappearance of Jana. Although he has already disposed her body and asked Rose to inform about her disappearing out of the blue after leaving some note, but a boy gotta be careful. Secondly, he didn't want anyone to see him with a hole in his T-shirt. Not to mention his clothes were stained in red of his own blood, which is a clear giveaway of something bad. I should really pick up something like a spatial storage ability one of these days. Sam mentally took a note while sighing. So if that's that true, then you mean even you cannot win against love. Sam inhaled a deep breath before speaking earnestly, you know I was born with a messed up brain, right? I don't see things the way most do. I can't feel a lot of emotions, or maybe I just chose to turn most of them off because I'm capable of doing that. However, the only thing I can feel clearly, or decided on to feel clearly, was love. After all, even the heart of the demon knows how to love. His eyes displayed something very similar to pain as he reminisced over his life up until at this point. That pain however was quickly disappeared and all that was left after were a pair of deep yet sharp cold eyes. He scoffed as he spoke again, but to answer your question, of course I can beat love whenever I want. After all, I am a god, aren't I, and gods don't lose. Chapter 8:8. A defeat from 4 years ago. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 4 years ago, I'm almost to the coordinates Medusa. This will be our victory. Sam spoke through his comm device. Dressed as his alter ego, Nightcrawler, he was headed towards the center of Toronto City. He had bleached his hair white beforehand because black hairs are extremely rare in today's world. Nice. Go get the relic and let's get the hell out of this city. I'll keep the heroes busy, at most we have 20 minutes before Starboy shows up and ruin our plans, again. Medusa answered from the other side of his comm device before cutting off. 10 minutes are more than enough. Crawler announced arrogantly and rushed into a tall building to get a hold of the legendary rank relic hiding somewhere inside. After a few minutes, an explosion occurred inside the skyscraper and Crawler casually walked out of it, while everything around him was going down in ruins. "GGEZ guys, I am just better," he scoffed before laughing maniacally like a madman. "What's so funny boy?" a voice called out to him from behind. "Tisk," Crawler clicked his tongue in frustration. "Why can't you guys just give up?" he spoke before turning around only to find a flock of birds swirling around a man dressed in eagle outfit. Crawler didn't need introductions to know who he was, Eagleclaw, the 6th best initiator class superhero after White Walker and 4 more. His ability, telepathic link to all kinds of birds and superhuman agility. "Haha funny, I was going to ask you the same thing. By the way, mind returning me that thing in your hand?" Without even waiting for a reply, like a bullet, Eagleclaw launched himself at Crawler, to tackle him down while the flock of birds still kept on swirling around him, blocking Crawler's vision on him. However, Crawler jumped up and dodged the incoming tackle with ease. As if waiting for that move, Eagleclaw quickly came out of his bird flock cover and redirected himself to leap at Crawler and engage him from behind while he was still defenseless in mid-air. "Gotcha!" Eagleclaw shouted as if announcing his victory. "You are a fool." Crawler disappeared from sight and appeared right behind Eagleclaw. However, even before Eagleclaw could react, Crawler grabbed him by the nape and pushed him down on the ground from mid-air, making a small crater at impact. "Wah! You can't have super speed. It wasn't mentioned in your profile." Eagleclaw exclaimed in shock before Crawler pushed his head down more into the ground to shut him up. "I can have anything I want, after all I am a god. Besides, why are you relying on something so unreliable like a profile anyway?" Crawler scoffed again, before making Eagleclaw look him in the eyes. His eyes then emitted a violet hue as he spoke, "Now you will forget what happened here and let me go. When the media arrives you will tell them you couldn't handle Crawler alone and he escaped." He let go of his head and got up on his feet before walking away, leaving the superhero in eagle outfit down in the dust. "Present day, so you actually don't want to be a superhero?" "Yeah, I suppose, I'm being dragged here actually." The 5 superheroes that were supposed to be counseling Sam, couldn't help but turn their heads at each other in the awkward silence that followed after that strange answer. Who don't want to be a superhero? They are cool, they are good, they make a fortune, and most of all, public loves them, and they make a fortune. But this boy that was sitting in front of them just outright announced that he doesn't want to be one of them. "May I ask you the reason?" "No reason, I just don't think that I would be good at this job." Sam replied with a casual shrug. "I see, so you're doubting yourself then. Well anyway, since you've cleared your assessment test, so now we have to discuss which class to assign you. And whether you're good enough or not, let us decide that for you." One of the superheroes spoke calmly, completely misunderstanding what Sam actually meant earlier, like everyone else present in the room. He wasn't in his costume, none of them were, but just from the way of speaking Sam could identify each and every one of them. The one who spoke next, however, was a superhero Sam knew very well. It was Eagleclaw. "Your ability have potential, but there are way too many electrokinesis users who shows more promise than you. I think you should join the initiator class." If it was just any other superhero who'd suggested it, Sam may have gone with the idea, but it was Eagleclaw. "No way in hell I'm gonna listen to you, you bastard." His eyebrows twitched as Sam cursed Eagleclaw in his mind. "I object. I think he possessed the skills to utilize his ability properly without wasting a single movement. You can see the video recording, that movements alone should put him in warrior class." One of the superheroes spoke up. She was seemingly in her late 20s with light brown hair. Her voice was melodious, so much so that it captivated all of the people present inside the room, even Sam. "Oh, I'm sorry, I used my ability again." She lightly laughed in a coquettish way. "Damn this bitch. I can't use my ability or they'll sense it, but that means I have no protection against her voice." Ahem. Eagleclaw cleared his throat before speaking. Anyway, as I was saying earlier, even though he can use his ability efficiently, I don't think he's strong enough to be on the front lines as other warriors. Thus I think he should be on support class. He'll be much better as an initiator. But he has met all the requirements for a warrior. You want him as an initiator because that class is under your supervision, you just want to steal talents. No, I want to hone talents. This kid has a talent for supporting. I can't tell you how I know this, but I feel like he'll be a great supporter. Of course I'll be a great supporter. I've been supporting a calamity rank villain for almost 4 years now. Sam scoffed in mind. There are 5 classes in which superheroes are categorized: warriors, the superheroes who specializes in taking on duels and combats head-on; initiators, they are like superheroes' henchmen. They support warriors in their combat by watching their flank and going into the dangerous areas first to bait out the enemies. Sentries, they are what their name suggests, defensive experts who prioritize the safety of civilians and superheroes from the back. Lurkers, they are experts in concealing their presence and creating an opening for warriors to rush in and combat the villains. They rarely fight head-on and are expert assassins. Special class, sometimes there are people who don't fit in any aforementioned categories, or maybe sometimes they fit in more than one. Those people are called special users. Mostly people with more than one ability fits this class. The 5 heroes who were sitting around Sam in a semicircle belongs to one of these aforementioned classes each, and everyone supervises their respective classes. Okay. If you both want him under your class, why don't you let the kid decide? A lady in her mid-30s, belonging to the lurker class spoke, ending the argument going on between Eagle Claw of Initiators and Night Angel of Warriors regarding the black-haired boy sitting in the middle of the room. Nice idea. Okay boy, you decide, spoke Night Angel, with her same melodious voice, a voice so pure that it could be considered magical. No cheating, the lady belonging to lurkers spoke again. Fine E. Night Angel pouted before rolling her eyes and calling off her ability. Sam spoke before taking a dramatic pause, will choose to join warriors. Yes. Suck it, you damn eagle. So what did you get? Kiera asked in a curious tone after approaching Sam, who was getting out of the council office. Actually, I got to choose. Sam smirked arrogantly. Oh you that's rare, so what did you choose? Warriors, of course. Starboy will be in warrior class too, so I wouldn't miss it for the world. Why? Yeah, by the way, Eagle Claw is supervising initiators starting this year, you know, since White Walker is dead and all. You always hated that bastard, didn't you? LOL. No Kia, I don't hate him, I loathe him. They lied about our defeat in Toronto 4 years back. Surely we didn't get the relic, but we won. LOL, it's okay Sam, chill. Kiera patted Sam's shoulder to calm him down. Hey you guys. Are you guys done too? A voice called out the duo from behind. Ah Robin, it's you. You startled us, said Kiera after turning around to greet the blonde-haired girl. Huh, did you guys safely got home last night? Robin asked with a bright smile. Last night they all went to explore the city. Sam sent his duplicate with them as he was having some real fun during that time. No, actually, we both are supervillains in disguise, so after we were done last night, we went on a killing spree. Sam sarcastically replied while Kiera nervously laughed. Huh, very funny Sam, very funny. Robin rolled her eyes before bursting out in laughter herself. Anyway, so where is Mr. Showoff? Kiera asked. He's not coming today, his family has already made prep rations so he doesn't need to go through the counseling process, he'll directly be joining the warrior class. What? That lucky bastard. Haha, I know. I had the same reaction, LOL. The girls kept on chatting as the trio walked out of the academy gates. Sam however couldn't help but recall that night again and again. The night when he fought Eagle Claw. That night he thought he had won. But Eagle Claw stole the relic from him before he mind-controlled him. Media came and interviewed Eagle Claw on why he let go of Crawler. He replied exactly what Sam had ordered him to. However, the relic that was supposed to be stolen by Crawler was found in his possession. According to reports, Eagle Claw didn't remember what happened that night or how he got that relic. All he remembered was that Crawler got away because he was too weak to stop him alone. When the general public started questioning the situation, Hero Association launched an investigation, and after few days they announced the most absurd thing Sam has ever heard. They announced that Crawler was defeated by Eagle Claw, and that's how he came into the possession of that relic. However, before he could arrest Crawler, Medusa came to his rescue and they both attacked Eagle Claw together and escaped. Eagle Claw suffered from concussion and forgot what happened. This false story skyrocketed Eagle Claw's reputation. Not only he survived against a Calamity rank villain, he also recovered a stolen relic. However, only 2 people knew the truth about that night and the absurdity of that false story. I was the one who defeated him. He dare spread lies about me. Sam furiously screamed as he entered his hotel room. I told you, should have killed him back then. I didn't saw him as someone worth killing. Getting killed by my hands is an honor, not just anyone can have that. Ah, you and your god complex. It's not a complex, you ignorant fool. How many people can revive the dead? You can only revive someone who has only died within an hour though. That isn't the point, you idiot. I mean, I can manipulate biology. I can turn someone into a bird. I can kill hundreds with just a snap. I can create deadly diseases. I can take life and I can return it. I can shapeshift into the most deadliest of beings. I have absolute immortality, for I am a god walking among men. Yeah, calm down, dear God, sir. So if you don't want to kill him, then why don't? Who said I don't want to kill him? I said he is not worthy of dying by my hands, but I can always kill him whenever I want. And now that I've seen his face and knows who he is, he's completely at my mercy. Oh, are we gonna play that game where you make someone from their family kills them? Ahaha, yes indeed. Ha ha ha, I love that game. So who will it be? His mother? His brother? Or maybe his father? Boring. Sam rolled his eyes. Okay, Mr. Interesting, then who will it be? Sam grinned maniacally before answering in a low, almost inaudible tone, his fiancée, Rose Bluespring. Whoa. Talk about a twist. Although let me remind you before you go on a hunt, tomorrow is your first class. The grin disappeared from Sam's face and it was replaced by a grim pale expression. Fuck. Chapter 9-9. Declaration of War. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Hello there, chosen ones. I am the president of this academy for the youngs and gifted, Helios Bright. Some of you may also know me as the No. 2nd, or my alter ego, Lightbringer. The welcoming ceremony started with the president introducing himself. He was a dark red-haired man with light skin, in his late 30s. Although if one were to look closer, they could see that all signs of aging has stopped on him. It is as if the man was frozen in time. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to this academy where we forge the legends of tomorrow. I believe in this world, everyone is special. And just the fact that you're sitting right here is proof enough to tell me how special you all are. I must warn you all though, the path you all are going to walk from now is not an easy one. A hero's job is not just to fight villains and beasts, no, it's much more than that. A hero's job is to be a symbol of justice and righteousness. Although the speech was exhilarating at first, but after a few minutes in and it was now starting to turn into a torture. The president just kept on speaking and speaking, most of the students now started to look like lifeless dolls. Barely hanging on as every word by the president seems to drain the life out of them bit by bit. Okay, I'm done, I give up. Wake me up when the torture ends. Kiera moved her seat nearer to Sam and whispered, before putting a palm in front of her closed eyes. Over the span of 4 years, since he started his journey as the henchman of a certain Calamity-class villain, Sam has fought countless superheroes and supervillains alike. However, this was his first time seeing the infamous, second strongest superhero, as they call him, the Lightbringer. With his ability, light manipulation, he can create, manipulate and turn himself into light. The versatile nature of his ability has granted him a power to be feared of. Rumors has it that he once fought Star Super into near submission. He lost in the end of course, but bringing Star Super to near submission is a feat not just anyone could achieve. Needless to say, he has many fans, even among the students that were sitting there listening to him speak. However, even after an hour of continuous speaking, it still looked like the president had no plans of stopping. One more hour passed and the students were barely hanging on to their sanity. Most of them were sleeping, or at least trying to, but the speakers were way too loud for that. Few of them were trying to distract themselves by using their holographic phones. The students who considered themselves as his die-hard fans before attending this speech were now trash-talking him on the internet. At this point only 4 students were listening to him. All of them for a different reason. Sam, because he doesn't know anything about him, so he was trying to observe the man. Lucas, the boy who aced the entrance test. He has to give a speech after this too. A pair of flaxen-haired siblings sitting in the front row. Many were thinking that the boy was Starboy, but then who is the girl besides him? A secret child of Star Super perhaps. And with this short speech, I conclude all the things I wanted to say. Was it sarcasm or straight-out mockery, no one knew. However, everyone present there instantly thought about ganging up on him and beating him to death after hearing the words, short speech. However, that thought was quickly dismissed after remembering who the man in question is. Now I would like to call the freshman year representative, Lucas Redwing, to come here and take the mic. Helios concluded his speech and the students finally sighed with relief after a straight 2 hours of torture. Those who were asleep before, woke up to the sound of clapping and instinctively started clapping themselves as they saw a light red-haired boy walking up to the stage. Wah! What's happening? Kiera woke up and rubbed her eyes before started to clap herself. Nothing, Sleeping Beauty, the speech is over after 200 years of long suffering, and now the freshman representative will grace us with few words. Sam replied sarcastically. Speech. Again. Well, you wanted to join the Hero Academy, so here it is. Ag. The clapping sound died down as Lucas walked up to the stage and held the mic. Although the boy was supposed to be the first-year representative, what most people were seeing was a slender teen with moppy light red hair. With his slim face and light red eyes, the boy was the exact definition of pretty boy. Screech. A screeching sound resounded throughout the hall from speakers as he tried to speak. Sorry, he spoke timidly. Boys and girls alike found him cute from his actions. Some of the girls even thought of asking him out afterwards. However, that take on him was shattered as soon as he opened his mouth again. From the tender age of 4, I considered myself as the strongest. How can I not? After all, I am untouchable. So I came here to find someone, anyone, that equals me in terms of power. However, all I found here are a bunch of weaklings. Well, for what it's worth, I'll graduate as the top of my class. Lucas spoke narcissistically, his earlier timidness replaced by sheer arrogance. With that he finished his little speech and exited the main hall, leaving all the students present there with a dumbfounded expression on their face. What? Who does he think HS is? How dare he? I'll kill that bastard myself. Fuck you. To think I thought about proposing to that son of a whore. A chain of cuss broke out among the crowd. Some people even tried to run after him, to chase him down and beat him till their heart's content. But they were quickly stopped by the staff that was present there. Calm down, students, the president spoke after picking up the mic from stage. A little competitive spirit is part of enrolling here. Besides, if you really think he's wrong, then prove him wrong, you'll get many opportunities to do so. The crowd calmed down a little after hearing that. Yes, that's right, there will be many mock battles, they all thought. I like that guy. Sam commented with an impressed smile. And I would like to see his insides open. Kiera replied, she was one of the people who was offended by his speech. Ah, come on Kia, a little competitive spirit is part of enrolling here. Sam commented sarcastically. Kiera however could only give him a dead smile before the president spoke again. And now that all of you are calmed down, let's proceed with the end of this welcoming ceremony. I would like to invite the future star student of this year. The president didn't even completed his words before the crowd broke out in cheers. They didn't need him to tell who is coming to the stage next, it's Starboy. Ha, that's the spirit. Yes. I would like to call the boy who started working as an unofficial superhero since the young age of 13. I would like to call Starboy. Anthony Wilburn, please present yourself here. After receiving the cue, a flaxen-haired boy from the front row got up and started walking towards the center stage. The cheers from the crowd only grew louder and louder with each step he took. Sam glanced sideways to see that even Kiera was clapping. Really? He questioned the silver-haired girl. Wah. I don't want to get suspicious, Kiera stuttered while Sam could only helplessly roll his eyes. The flaxen-haired boy took the mic from President's hand and stood there waiting for the cheers to die down. His appearance could only be described with words such as holy or angelic. His jewel-like golden eyes along with his chiseled face gave him a perfect look. His presence oozed off a sense of superiority, the kind of which that would even make the kings kneel down to him. How can someone resist such a holy existence? The cheers that were supposed to die down by now only grew louder until Anthony finally opened his mouth. Calm down guys, he spoke with a bright smile, although they wanted to cheer more but the students complied. I would like to say many things, sadly enough we don't have that much time after our president's long speech. Anthony laughed lightly while all the students gave a death stare to the president after hearing that. Diovico, anyway, I think I would like to start by telling you all how grateful I am for this chance to enroll in this academy with you all. You see, you all may think that being the only son of the greatest superhero is fun and all, but it is not. Not always anyway. Anthony took a pause before speaking again. I became a superhero, an unofficial superhero I mean, since the age of 13. I visited countries, I fought villains and I saved people. I love all that but I don't have many friends, that's the only thing I don't like about my job. But now that we all are here, I would like to get to know you all and be friends with. As soon as he said this, the crowd started cheering again. Haha. Thank you guys. Now that we are all friends, I should tell you about my likes and dislikes. I like many things, my job, almost all the fast food, amusement parks, many things. But you know there's also something that I don't like. Anthony took a short pause again before speaking. I don't like when someone hurts my friends. And there's someone in this city who is doing just that. The bright amicable front that he was putting on earlier was replaced by a dead serious look. The crowd was left dumbfounded, everyone confused about what Anthony was talking about. There's someone in the Academy City hunting heroes. He dropped a bomb on everyone present there. Even the staff didn't expected him to do something like that. Yes, they were aware that there is someone going after heroes, but they didn't in their wildest dreams expected Anthony to address that situation here. In the welcoming ceremony, murmuring among the crowd broke out, some were confused and many were scared. They have heard the news about an explosion occurring in one of the apartment building but they were told that it was just a gas leakage and no one was hurt. This bastard. Does he not care about the reputation of Academy City? Even Sam couldn't help but shout in his mind in disbelief. On front though, he was putting up a confused look. Yes, you heard it right, an SS-class lurker has been killed. Murdered in her own apartment. And the policemen that came to her rescue were also killed by an explosion. Then there's a S-rank warrior who has gone missing. Her friend says that she left after leaving some note, but authorities have reason to believe otherwise. Anthony took a deep breath. Feeling of uneasiness among the crowd was growing by the second. The president thought about taking the mic from Anthony, but then again, this could very well be a plan from Star Super. Thinking this, he did nothing. Now I know you all are scared, why wouldn't you be? This villain is bold enough to attack us in our stronghold. And by the looks of it, the villain is at the very least of SS rank. But I ask of you, do you trust my father? Do you trust Star Super? Because if you do, then I swear on my family name of Wilburn, that I'll hunt this villain down and avenge the two our fallen comrades. The crowd started to calm down after Star Super was mentioned. They all smiled and nodded, cueing Anthony to speak further. I have lost many friends this past year and I'm not ready to lose more. So since I called you all my friends earlier, I promise you all, I will protect you all no matter what. I will hunt down this villain and not stop there, no, I'll hunt every last one of them down. I'll make a villain-free society. This right here is my declaration of war. Anthony dropped the mic on the ground and performed a short bow. I'm with you. Let's do this. Let's kill all the villains. I got your back. My besto friendo. Cheers like that resounded throughout the hall. Those who were not cheering, were clapping. Those who were not clapping were nodding in determination. Everyone was happy. Except one young man. His lips trembled and a soundless giggle escaped his mouth. You'll hunt me down. Me. A god. Fine, I accept. Sam announced in his mind. As Sam swore to take down Starboy in his mind, Anthony too vowed to hunt down this new villain that has appeared in the Academy City. Bring it on. They both mentally declared the war on each other in unison. Chapter 1010. Rebel Without a Cause. You are listening at novelfull.audio. So let's start with the basics. Who can tell me what abilities are? Me. Ma'am. It's pretty basic. The boy in the back, you tell me. The teacher called out to Sam. What's the point of not raising my hand if you're gonna ask me anyway? Sam commented in his mind before standing and started answering the question. Abilities are the supernatural powers that is unique to every human who possess it on this planet. Even if the two humans were to possess a seemingly same ability, there will always be something different about their powers. Abilities are not genetic, they differs from person to person. For example, even if both the parents are water manipulators, their child could be a fire manipulator or something completely different. There are 3 classes of abilities: body, elemental and special. The first 2 are self-explanatory, the last one however, is a complex one. Special abilities are the ones that doesn't fit the criteria for body or elemental. There's not much known about its origin. Believers claim it's a grace of the gods. Cultists claim it's a gift from the devil. Scientists claim it's evolution. Fact remains, that it's right here and only 8 out of every 20 people are graced with it. Also last but not the least, even animals could possess abilities, they are dubbed as monsters by us. Sam finished his explanation and took a deep breath before taking his seat. After the welcoming ceremony was concluded, students were shown to their classes and were allotted their dorms. Right now Sam was attending the theory class. After this, there was special training class and after that was the combat class. Kiera was sitting to his left, and weirdly enough the flaxen-haired boy, Anthony Wilburn aka Starboy was sitting on his right. Very good Samuel Gracewell, that was a good explanation. Now then, let me tell you about the Dark Ages. It is not recorded in history for general public but because you're here in Gifted Hero Academy, you can find the books about that time period in library under the history section. So when humans awakened their abilities, this is so boring. Sam complained in his mind, but on the front, he put on a curious look. I agree. Combat class will be much more fun. Yeah, no. I can only use the fraction of my power in that. That's no fun. I want to go on another hunt, let loose a little. He whined in his mind with a serious face outside. Stop it. Your monthly quota of one hunt is fulfilled. Besides, we are in the enemy territory, we have to be careful about our moves. Starboy has made the public announcement about us, it will be trouble if we were found out. Borioring. Why don't you try finding out weaknesses of the boy sitting beside you? That's why we came here, right? Yeah, not now. Why? Because the class is going on right now, and I don't want to disturb the class and be labeled as a delinquent. Fine, wait till the break. The class went on for about 2 hours. The teacher explained all the history from the Dark Ages till the modern ages, from humanity fighting monsters, a threat that came with the appearance of abilities, till finding their way to Mars and colonizing it with the help of very same abilities. After the 2 hours ended, few of the students that were not sleeping by now with their head down on the desk, stood up and greeted the teacher as she walked out of the class. Well, that was long, and boring. Sam commented casually. Was it? I found it pretty interesting. The flaxen-haired boy beside him replied. Yeah, me too. I found it interesting too. Kiera quickly tried to jump in the conversation. Simp alert. Look around you, Starboy, most of them are sleeping. Sam said as he stretched his back. Well, most of them are from noble families, so they knew this already. You on the other hand are not from one, the noble family I mean. So you should find it interesting because all this was new for you. Look around you, there are also the few who are not sleeping. Anthony arched his eyebrows. What are you implying, Wilburn? Sam glanced at him with a serious look as the boy replied, Hey, chill man, I didn't mean it like that. Besides, before Anthony could finish his words, however, a group of students approached him and started asking questions. Hey Anthony, that speech was so cool. Yeah man. I was scared at first but eventually I got hyped up so hard. Ahaha, thank you. Anthony replied with forced smile. Sam got up and exited the classroom. It was break time, so he was planning to go up to the terrace and find some peace, as he also needed to plan his next moves. He didn't ask Kiera to join because it was clearly obvious that she was curious about the questions students were going to ask Anthony. Is that girl besides you your sister? One of the girl asked, pointing at the flaxen-haired girl sitting with her head down, right besides Anthony. Ah yeah, she hasn't made her debut as a superhero yet, so you may not know her. She's Rebecca Wilburn. She's sleeping because she's tired from the journey. Anthony was interrupted before he could even finish his sentence. Crap. Rebecca spoke, her head still down on the desk, leaving all the students present there with a dumbfounded expression. I'm trying to sleep because I'm tired of all your crap. Seems like you're ruining even that for me. As soon as she said this, she got up and walked outside the classroom. That was weird, maybe she's just antisocial. Or maybe she is jealous of her brother's awesomeness. Murmuring like that started among the students while Anthony could only sigh. So do you have a girlfriend? As soon as Kiera asked this, every girl that was present there started staring at Anthony for the answer. Sigh. Anthony couldn't help but sigh again. Click. With a click sound, the door of the terrace opened. Sam looked at the door to find out the person who dared disturb his rest. What he found out was, a flaxen-haired girl walking out from the door. She was a great beauty in her teens. Her deep crystal-like golden eyes and flaxen hair that looked like silky threads made of pure gold along with her fair skin gave her a look that most boys would kill to have. Sam, however, was not most boys. As soon as he saw the resemblance, he couldn't help but curse in his mind in frustration. Why? Why do you hate me, God, why? Is it because you see me as a threat to your supposedly absolute authority? He thought. Am I disturbing? She asked before proceeding to stand beside Sam by the railing. Yes. Sam replied instantly. Gee, how harsh. Rebecca replied, while taking out a pack of cigarettes from her pocket. Want one? No thank you. All you heroes aspirants are such a goody two-shoes. Rebecca rolled her eyes before lighting the cigarette in her hand. A rebel without a cause. Sam commented. You think I have no cause? Rebecca arched her eyebrow after taking a quick puff at her cigarette. I don't think your cause matters. Sam replied with a shrug. You know nothing. Rebecca scoffed and took a puff again. What would I know, I'm just a commoner who got accepted into this prestigious academy. Sam said before starting to walk towards the exit door. Going now that you've tested that your ability won't work on our bloodline? Rebecca asked nonchalantly, her back was facing Sam as she took yet another puff. I'm sorry. Sam frowned, on the inside though, he was prepared to activate his ability to its fullest and eliminate the girl right here and now. Don't bother. I saw you activated your ability, and I can see now, you're readying yourself to activate it again. However, as I said, your ability won't work on our bloodline. Besides, you wouldn't want to make me angry. I'm just talking. Rebecca spoke before disappearing from his sight and appearing right in front of him. Wah! Before Sam could even speak, she placed her index finger on his lips. You must have a special ability, 'cause abilities that could tamper with brain or body don't work on us. Do you have a mind-related ability? Were you trying to mind control me? She spoke as she held her chin with one hand, while her index finger of other, still on Sam's lips. This girl is dangerous. Sam thought in his mind and activated the two most offensive sub-powers of his ability. Body manipulation, and, argumentation. Die. He roared as the shape of his right hand started to change, it was now resembling a thin blade. He swung his blade hand at the girl's neck with an incredible speed and deadly precision, however. I told you, she spoke before grabbing his blade hand just before it could reach her neck, you wouldn't want to make me angry. She tightened her grip and shattered his hand, that was more like a blade at this point. She grabbed Sam by the neck with other hand. Farewell, pretty boy. She said and ripped his heart out with a lightning-fast speed. Ag. Sam groaned in pain as his eyes widened in shock. He saw his own heart in the hands of the flaxen-haired girl as she crushed it, quite literally. His consciousness started to fade as the darkness that he was quite familiar with by now, started to close in on him. You should have known better than to challenge a Wilburn head. On. He heard those last words as his eyes closed despite his best efforts to stay awake. Blood gushed out from the cavity that was opened up in his chest and he died due to blood loss on the Academy terrace. Information available on Body Manipulation. Users have complete control over the bodies and anatomies of oneself or others, including skin, nails, fat, muscles, blood, nerves, etc., allowing them to freely alter and manipulate them. User can creation or grow additional appendages and body parts, remove them or otherwise manipulate bodies, invisible, chemical and cellular/sub-cellular levels. The user can also be able to manipulate the bodies of other species, such as animals or even extraterrestrial creatures, as long as user knows its anatomy at cellular level. Sub-power of biokinesis and matter manipulation. Argumentation, the ability to gain a biologically enhanced body. Granting the user physical or mental enforcement. Sub-power of biological manipulation and physiology change. Variation of artificially enhanced physiology. _______.